I remember now. I don't song that CFS.
Yeah, I mean, Nat, can you hear me?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Fine, sir.
Yes. How was your day?
It was fine, sir. Thank you.
Yes. So can you please introduce yourself? Tell me your name and tell me what you do.
My name is Aminat Abubakar. I'm a student at Perxels, a beginner.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes, I remember you. I mean, Nat. Happy New Month to you.
Which is the same, sir.
Benjamin, I see you. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Sir?
No, okay, I think I'm done with you. I mean, Nat. Maybe I want to talk to Mr. Benjamin.
All right.
Mr. Benjamin, can you hear me? Mr. Benjamin, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Benjamin. Yes,
Yeah, I can hear
yeah, good
you.
afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm so fine. I'm good.
Okay, all right. Can you please introduce yourself to us and then tell us what you do, sir?
Hello.
Yes, I said, can you please tell us what you do, sir?
Okay. At the moment, I'm a consultant with Horizon Education.
Okay. All right, sir. Welcome to this master class. Lizzie, can you hear me? Good
Consultancy.
afternoon. Yes, sir. All right. Lizzie, can you hear me? Good afternoon, Lizzie. Lizzie, can you hear me? Lizzie, can you hear me? Okay. While we wait for her to, I think maybe she's having network issues. Amaka, good afternoon to you. Welcome. Hello, Amaka, can you hear me? Hello, Amaka, can you hear me?
Hi, good afternoon. I can hear you guys now.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, and how are you doing?
I'm good. We thank God for everything. Happy New Month to you.
Wish you the best. Hi, Benjamin. Hi, Fiwa. Hi, Aminat. Good
Hi, Amak.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Amaka. Yes,
Good
so Amaka,
afternoon, Amaka.
okay. So Amaka, can you please tell us what you do?
Okay, I'm a civil servant, and I also work remotely as customer service personnel.
Okay, that's powerful. Nice to meet you, Amaka.
Nice
Nice
to
to
meet you
meet
too.
you. All right, so Lizzie, are you with us now? Is your network, is it better? Can you hear us, Lizzie? Lizzie. Okay, I think she's having some issues. Odo, good afternoon to you, Odo. Odo, can you hear me? Odo, can you hear me? Can you please introduce yourself to us? Can you hear me? If you can, maybe you have to unmute your mic. Okay. Ramsey, good afternoon to you, Mr. Ramsey.
Good afternoon, sir.
How's your day going, sir?
It's going well, sir. Thank you.
Yes, a happy new month to you, Mr. Ramsey.
Same to you, Mr. Manager.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Do you mind telling us what you do, Ramsey?
Like I said in our previous classes, I'm a graphic designer and a software engineer. Yes.
Okay. Yes, you mentioned that earlier on. It's a good one. So, well, I'm glad we decided to come for this master class. I'm very, very glad. Uh, the person that's going to be taking this course, don't worry, let me know. Let's just wait for when it's time.
Uh,
So, so Ramsey, so
so
Ramsey, why UI UX design? Why did you choose it? Why UI UX design?
that is a good question. Actually, why I choose this UI design just to be part of this ongoing, this of the thing. This UI design make impact a lot of businesses. Like all all organization need it. So just like to develop my interest on it, then learn it and became.
Okay. That's good. That's good. That's a very good one. So, how about you, Mr. Benjamin? Mr. Benjamin, are you still with us? Hello, Mr. Benjamin. Can you hear me? Okay, Lizzie, it seems you're having network issues because you've been going on and off. But can you hear me now, Lizzie? Good afternoon to you, Mr. Ibrahim. Can you hear me, Mr. Ibrahim? Can you hear me?
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. How are you doing today,
Yes,
sir?
sir. Hearing you clearly, sir.
Okay. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm fine, sir.
Happy New Month to you, by the way.
Very much okay, sir. Yeah, same wishes from this
Okay.
end.
All right. So can you tell us what you do, Mr. Ibrahim?
Okay, yeah, I work with a tech company as network administrator in
Wow.
Abuja.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. That's a good one. We are glad to have you in this session. Mr.
Yeah,
Kayode, good
thank you very much.
afternoon. Yes, sir. Mr. Kayode, good afternoon. Welcome, sir. Mr. Kayode, can you hear me? Okay. Mr. Michael, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Hello, Michael.
Yeah, I can hear you. Good
Yeah,
afternoon.
good afternoon to you, sir.
But your mic is not really loud.
Okay, but can you hear me now? Is it better now? So Michael, Mr. Michael, is it better now?
No, it's still very low, but maybe I'll use an earpiece or something.
Okay, yeah, because I think it's probably network issue from your end. Can anybody else hear me very well, or is it still on your own end also? Am I audible enough?
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
We can
Clearly,
hear
yeah,
you.
okay. Okay, right. Thank you. Mr. Michael, is it better now? You can hear this now. Okay, thank you, Amaka. Thank you. I see you. Thank you. All right, in just about a minute or two, we'll be kicking off the class. So we just need to just familiarize ourselves and then just know each other. And I hope we are all with our laptops as instructed in the message and in the group. And I hope also we've all set up our Figma accounts. Have we all done that? Okay,
Yes,
okay,
yes, yes.
okay. All right. Because very soon the speaker will be coming up, and this one is not just any speaker. This one is the CEO of Perxels herself. So she had to put off a lot of things to really be here for this class. Honestly, I'm telling you, she had to really put a lot of things to be here because she wanted to really, make an impact and then effectively talk to each and every one of us. So I am geared for this class. And I believe we are all, for the fact that we are here, it means we are prepared and we are also geared. Am I correct? Can you hear me? I said, are we together? Am I correct? Okay. This is going to be a very interactive class. So let us do well to always respond with our emojis or our hands or our messages. Amaka is really doing a good one at that. Okay, Benjamin, you're doing well now. So please, it's going to be a very interactive class. Okay, Amaka, I see you. I see you.
I'd like to ask, is it going to be a camera on class or a screen sharing class?
I think it's going to be a camera on class and a screen sharing class, depending on you, ma.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah. Good afternoon to you, ma. All right, Mr. Chris Julius, you raised up your hand. I see you. Okay, all right. Now that we are all settled, good afternoon once again to each and every one of us, and I want to welcome you to this UI/UX design masterclass. So it is time for our speaker to come up, and our speaker is none other than the CEO of Perxels herself. This is Fiwa Abiodun. So please, guys, let's thumbs up, let's send the emojis as we usher in to come and handle the session for us.
Mukachi, Yoala is much. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you're doing well today. So I've been here listening to, where you guys, what you guys do, right? So my name is Fiwa, and I would like to still do like some introduction, especially where you stay in Abuja, right? So that we are sure that we have the people of Abuja here. Thank you so much, guys, for the emoji. I appreciate. So let's start with Haminat. Hi, Haminat. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? Hello, Aminat. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. So where in Abuja are you and why do you want to learn UI UX design?
I'm actually at Ibadan for now. It's my brother connected me into UIUX.
Oh, okay, great, 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 great. Benjamin, can we hear from you? Where are you calling from or where are you joining from so that we can know? Benjamin. Benjamin
Okay,
Amas.
yes, good
Good
afternoon. Yeah, I'm
afternoon.
calling from Maitama, Ministasio.
Oh, okay, great, great. Glad to have you. Maybe we should just drop it in the chat section so that we can see where you guys are chatting from. So just tell us your location. So for example, I'm currently in Lagos,
Okay.
right? So I will just type Take you Lagos. So let me know where you guys are joining from. So let's get to know each other better. So just drop your location before we get started. Okay, we have Maitama, we have Lagos, we have Warimpa, we have Dede, but currently we're currently in Bauchi. We have Ushafa, Abuja. So I don't know all of this name. I might not be able to pronounce it, but I just want to know where you guys are, calling from. We have about 21 people here already. So let's have more response in the chat section. Wow, we have somebody from Ogumosho. You're welcome. I actually schooled in Lautech, so very familiar with Ogumosho. We have Lukuguma, Abuja. Welcome. We have someone from Ibadan. We have Mpampe. We have Akpo resettlement. Okay, great, great. Lugbe. Great. Welcome, guys. Awesome. We have Lokoja. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's hear from more people. Okay, guys. So I'm really happy to, have everybody here. Just like I said at the beginning of this particular conversation, I said my name is Abiodun Fiwa, and I love teaching. Right? I love helping people to transition from whatever skill or from whatever field before to UI UX design. This is something I've been doing for over 8 years now. We founded Perxels about 4 years ago, and at first we actually started as an online school, right? And last year, February, we actually started our physical space in Lagos. At that point, we were renting space, but by August, we're able to get our own space. We then launch in Lagos. We then launching in Ibadan, and this year, one of our targets is to launch our space in Abuja, and that's why we're having this conversation today. We already have students that are enrolled, right? So if you are still interested, you can still enroll for the paid training. So today we are going to be having masterclass. And anytime we are having masterclass, personally to me, I believe it should be a practical class, because I had a particular man on the call that said that UI UX design is a skill that is needed by a lot of organization, right? So you want to transition because you know that this is a demand. People need it, right? So if you are coming to a masterclass, it shouldn't just be about conversation, talk, explanation, theoretical explanation, but you should be able to do something from that class. Then when you leave this particular call today, you can decide that, oh yeah, I think I want to transition into UI UX design, or this is not for me. I think I want to go and read about some other skill in tech that I can transition into. So this is going to be a very practical class. So I hope you charge your laptop, right? And I also love responsive class. So kindly mute yourself, Elizabeth. If you're not talking, mute yourself, right? If you want to engage with me, you can, just drop a message, right? So that I know that you want to talk with me. So you guys are welcome once again. So let's start with what exactly is UI and UX design? What exactly is it? So I'm just going to receive some random answer, right? Just pick maybe one or two person to talk about it. So we're going to be starting with Vivian. Vivian Nadi. You don't have to be perfect with your definition, because if you know it, I don't think you'll be here today. So you are all here to learn today. So let's start with Vivian. Vivian, what do you think is user interface?
Hello, guys. Good afternoon. So,
Good afternoon.
from my own understanding, user interface basically means the interface of the design, how users are able to navigate through certain applications or websites. So,
Okay.
yes, that's my own understanding now. The question was
Okay.
just for UI, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So
okay.
Vivian, that it is UI that help you to, interact with the interface that you're seeing. They help you to navigate the interface that you're seeing, and that's amazing. Can we have Samuel Obo? I hope I pronounced that well. Samuel, can we have you? Samuel, can we have you? Okay, let's have Ruben. Hello, Ruben. Can you unmute yourself? Tell me your definition of UI. And if you think you want to define, you can raise your hand, or you can just drop a chat so that I can receive you. So, Ruben, do you want to try? What is UI? Ruben, do you want to try? Okay, I'm trying to get a man and a woman to talk. So it seems the guys are hiding their face. So let's go to Abdullahi. Abdullahi, do you want to try? Okay, great. Oluwadamiloju. That's interesting. I'm used to hearing Damilola. Oluwadamiloju, can we have you? What is UI? Can you hear me? Hello, Oluwadamiloju, you want to try? Okay, let's move on to Danladi Jonathan. Danladi Jonathan, do you want to try? What is UI? You don't have to be perfect. I just want to, hear from you what you
Hi,
think UI
good
is.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so my own understanding, UI is user interface.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what is user interface? That's just what you know about user interface.
maybe let's say a graphic layout of an application.
Graphical layout of an application. All right,
Yes.
that's interesting. So guys, let's get started. What exactly is UI? So because you are transitioning into user interface design, you actually want to know how to define it professionally. So a user interface is the point of interaction between humans and computers. I want you to treat this masterclass as if you paid for it. So you want to write things down. So a user interface is the point of interaction between humans and computer. As my eyes is looking at this Google Meet application right now, there's a point of interaction, right? That point of interaction is what we call the user interface. Why user interface design is the process of designing how this interface look and how it's behave. So mere user interface is just the point of interaction. Why user interface design is the process of creating or designing how this interface should look and how it should behave. Now, let me give you an example of Perxels website. How many of us have been to Perxels website before? If you have been to Perxels website, just raise your hand. Like you can just, so that I can be sure. Or just drop emoji or something so that I can be sure if you guys have started, interacting with product. Okay, I can see Promise already. I can see Donald. I can see Ramsel. Sorry, I can see Benjamin. I can see Chris. I can see Julius. I can see Elizabeth. So now, for those of you that have never used Perxels before, you've not visited our website before, you can visit it today. Just go to perxels.com. Now, this is perxels.com. And if you look at this interface here, this interface is built with the user in mind. The people that are interested in learning UI UX design. Those are the people we built this product for. And this is the beginning of this website. On this website, you see learn, live, love UI UX design. Because we know that the people coming on this page, they are interested in learning. So the word we should use there should connect with the type of user that is coming. We want people to make money from design and not just learn design and then return back to square one, right? So we want people to live, that is, make money from design. Then we want people to love what they are doing. And a lot of people are frustrated with their current job. But with UI UX design, you can learn it, you can make money from it, and you can enjoy what you are also learning, right? So we added our student faces here because we know that when people want to learn, they love to have community of other people trying to achieve the same thing with them. So we added this arrow here to show collaboration, to show that there's interaction between the students that are here. We added this rectangle at the back here as a representation of building, a school, right? And then it's having different color because we want to show that this is a creative environment. Can you see how this interface, how we created it to suit the type of users that will be using the product? And that's why we said user interface design is the process of designing how this interface will look. That is the beauty of the design, how great it looks. But at the same time, how it helps the user that is going to use this product, how it make them behave. That is, what level of connection will somebody have when they look at this interface? So user interface design is the process of creating how the interface works, how it looks, and how it's behave. So that is the keyword for user interface design. Do we get that? Now, what are the other things you need to know about user interface design? Number one thing is that user interface design is purely digital. It's purely digital practice. It's consider all the visual, interactive elements of a product, including the button, the icon, the spacing, the typography, the color scheme, and what responsive design. Now, what does that statement mean? For graphic designers, guys, whenever they create their interface, right, they are going to, I'm trying to look for like a book I can use as an example. For example, let's say that a graphic designer created a Jota design right now. After creating that Jota design, the person prints it, the person share with you, you can use it. When they design, let's say, business card, like my business card is here. So let's say that they design a business card, right? I can give it to my friend. I say, oh, take this business card. This is my business card, right? Or flyer, I can share it and it is still usable. But when it comes to user interface design, the type of design that we create is purely digital. And what do I mean by that? If I print out your mobile application, that is your WhatsApp. Now, let's say that I print out your WhatsApp on paper. Will you be able to send message to your friend? I want a response in the chat section. Let's say that, okay, I printed the interface of WhatsApp. I printed it and then it's now on paper and I share it with you. Will you be able to type and say, hello, mommy, how are you today? Or hello, friend, how are you today? Will you be able to do that? Promise said no. I need response from the other team. They said no, right? The type of design that we create as UI UX designers, the moment somebody prints it out, it becomes useless. But for graphic designers, their work can be what? Digital, and at the same time, it can be manual. It can be something that somebody can physically touch and people can still find usefulness in that thing. So somebody said that thinking outside the box, it could be possible. Let's have Michael. Michael, tell me, if I print out Perxels website on paper, we used to be able to enroll. If I print out Twitter application, right? If I design and print it out, will you be able to use it on paper? Unmute yourself and talk about that, because you said you are thinking outside the box and you believe that it is possible. So let's have you. Michael, can we have you? Okay, so I would have loved you to unmute yourself so that you can defend your answer. When somebody prints out a mobile application, a web application, or a dashboard, it becomes useless. You cannot click, clickable, you get, it's not clickable. Now let's move on to the next thing. The goal of UI is to visually guide the user through a product interface. It's all about creating an intuitive experience that doesn't require the user to think too much. Whenever people hear UI UX design online and they have never experienced it before, maybe the training before, they always have different thought process of what exactly is this field. Or, okay, if people design website, is it that that's all you just do? What if you have finished designing the website? What are you now going to do with yourself? What are you going to do in the organization? I don't see so much function in it. And that's why you are here. Perxels is a very practical school. The way we train our students is as if they are being employed and they are being paid. Now, when it comes to organization, we have a lot of organizations that are online now. Because right now I'm able to engage with you right here because you saw our hats online, or maybe if your friend saw it on Perxels social media that, oh, Perxels is doing Abuja UI UX training, you might be part of it, take this flyer, enroll, and all of those things. Those things were possible because we are online. Imagine there is no online or there is no arts like that. I might not be able to even meet any one of you here today, but we are able to do that because we are online. So a lot of organization is maximizing the opportunity that we are online, because I'm able to engage with so much people. I'm able to, work with so many people because the walls, the road, the distance is not restricting us. So organization wants you to create designs for their customer in such a way that they are not coming to come and be talking to 100 customers a day. Organization wants a platform that can explain their service to users. Just the way when you sign up for Perxels Masterclass, I don't have to be present to tell you that, oh yeah, click on this one, oh yeah, click on this, oh yeah, do this one, oh yeah, click on submit. I don't have to come and teach you that. You went to the landing page, you signed up, and then you joined the WhatsApp group. Yeah. So without engaging you, without talking to you, that was possible. A lot of organizations don't want to be manually talking to people one by one to talk or pitch their service. It can be stressful. But if there is a platform that can stand alone and can explain what the product is about or what the service is about, it just makes us to scale fast. Do you understand that? So that's why we have it here that the goal of UI design, right, is to what? Visually guide the user through a product interface. Let's say a new user comes to Perxels page now. The person can tell that, okay, this is Uiux page that like introduces themselves. Oh, I come to Perxels, you guys do training and mentorship. Oh, internship, wow. Oh, you guys do design community, interesting. Oh, you guys have online classes, you guys have physical classes. Interesting. I would like to know about your physical class. Oh, let me see, right? The person come here, but say, oh, you are in Lagos, you are in Ibadan, you are in Abuja. Okay, I am in Abuja. Let me see. what you guys are having, right? Oh, so these are students that have trained at Perxels. Oh, Perxels is accredited by American Council of Training and Development. Oh, this is your training fee. Oh, this is the things I will learn. Oh, this is the tools I will do. These are the student work that I can explore. This is the testimonial. Can you see how, as a new user, I was able to go through that product without anybody's engagement? Building such product that is simple and easy for the user to understand, go through it, is not easy task. So that's why we have UI UX designers. We are the one that create an experience, right, that is seamless, that is simple for somebody to understand. Now, somebody will be like, instead of me doing UI UX design, what about front-end development? What's the difference between front-end development and UI UX designers? So guys, before now, it is only developers that we have. So the developers are the one that will design it. They are the one that will code it. They are the one that will do everything. But we now realize over time, as the world evolved, that developers don't really have good eyes for design. They don't have good taste of design. They have issues with making something look aligned, beautiful, and organized. So they decided to share that role into two. Let some people be the one to lay down the foundation of the design, create the design, and then let other people be the one to code it and put it into algorithm. Do you understand that? So that is what this is about. So we UI UX designers, we are the one that create it. We create the interface. Why developers? After creating the interface, I will not give it to the developer, and then the developer will not develop it. But apart from that, team members, let me quickly show you Perxels' website on Figma, where we first of all design it. The reason this particular rule is essential in organization, and the reason you are hearing people say, oh, I'm transitioning into UI UX design, is because of the value that we bring to the table as UI UX designers. Unlike before, right, when organization want to design, they'll just go straight to development. But right now, we don't do that again. What do? We first of all design the product. When we design the product, we prototype it. That prototype is like, okay, this is how your product is going to be. Do you like it? Is it okay? Abi, should we design it again before we now even go into putting it into coding, that is algorithm? So if you look at Perxels' website now, this is where we first of all design Perxels' website. Can you see the interface? This is what we created. This is the design section. So we created this design. After we created this design, we now gave it to what? Developers. Developers are the one that code it. So with this one now, the design have been planned. Before we even go into implementation, we know that this design will work. If it will not work, we would cancel it and we'll first of all design it before we go into implement. So it save cost, it save time, and even save resources. Do you understand that? So it helped the organization lay out, oh, this is how your entire website would look like. Oh, is there any part that is not good before we now go into development and we will not be having issues? Do you understand that? So in the chat section, let me know if you understand what I have said up to this point. In the chat section, type Y if you understand what I have said up to this point. And if you don't understand, type N. And if you have question, type Q. If you understand what I have said so far, type Y. If you don't understand, type N. And if you have question, type Q. I can see Koya Obafemi. Hello, Koya. What's up? How are you doing today?
It's been a while.
Are you a senior friend? What are you looking for in this class? Are you not a senior friend?
No, I'm not
Anyway, I'm glad to be here.
glad to meet you.
What
I've
did you
not
say?
seen you. I've not seen you to anybody.
Yeah, okay. You're welcome, Koya. Samuel said he did not understand. So, Samuel, let me have you ASAP. Speak to me. Unmute yourself. So you see like a microphone on your laptop. Just click on it and then you can talk and I can hear you. Amaka, let's have you straight up.
All right. Hi, Fiwa.
Hello.
You said something about front-end developers
Yeah.
not being the one to design the product. And I believe most of us have always believed that front-end developers are the one who do the bulk of the job. So now, can you elaborate more on what you mentioned that design, as in the design is the UI UX design is done first before is it before giving to the developers, or
All right.
Just elaborate that part for me, please.
Right. Whenever an organization reach out to you, right, the first thing you would do is not to start designing like this. The first thing we do is to understand the problem at hand. And then there's a lot of user experience like mapping, user flow, information architecture, affinity mapping, user journey mapping, user personnel, right, that we would do before we even get to the point of creating this design that you are seeing here. So the first thing when the client reach out to us is not to start out creating the design. We do all of those mappings to understand who exactly are we building for, and what solution fits that audience. Do you understand? So that's what we first do. Now, coming to the design, after doing those experience design, that's the user experience. This one is user interface because it's the one that has to do with creating the design. But all of this design, right, we were able to get the inspiration of it based on the mappings that we've done, based on the understandings of the user that we've done. Now, when we create our own interface design now, as I have created this design now, right, I will give it my front-end developer. So let me use Perxels platform as an example. I'll go to Perxels developer. I'll say, hello, Shagun, how are you today? I just finished designing a product, jump on it. And then he will pick up this design. After he pick up this design, he will not develop it, right? He will make it functional. So if I prototype this design right here, this design is just like template. It's just like this is what this design should look like. So now look at it here. I just prototype this design. This is not Perxels website, because if I click on view now, see, if I click on it, I'm clicking right now, nothing is happening. But if I go to the product that is live already, that you are seeing on the internet, that you can access online, if I click on view class plan, it's going to open to the next page, right? But if I click on it here, this one it will not move, because this is just like how we should be. Now I want you guys to observe this animation of these guys here. I want you to observe. Can you see the way Jeff, this guy's name is Jeff, can you see the way he moved? But if you look at the one that will finally launch online, you will see that that is not the type, that is not the exact animation that is there. So when I gave the design to the developer was like, okay, that movement of Jeff is going to be very hard for him to implement. So we later did this type of animation that you are seeing right now. So this is the type of animation we later implemented. So our UI design is more like, this is a sample of what we want to create. This is how we think it should be, right? If you come to Perxels website and this design now, this is the design. You can see that this one is not working. If I click on it, it's not working. So you can see that when I hover on this design, can you see that it's changing color? If I go to the live product as well and I hover on it, can you see that it's changing color? Can you see that? Can you see that in the real design, my button is quite small, but in the design that we implemented, it is longer. So can you see the difference? Because your developer is not going to create 100% of what you have designed. Do you get that? Because, you know, algorithm drawing. So the developer is just using our own design as a guide, because developers don't understand visual design. They don't understand user experience to an extent, but we are going to do all of those jobs, and then we are going to create a design that they can implement. So if you scroll down this design now, so if you look at this design now, can you see that when I over on this Perxels product now, the vision, right, will show. But if you go to the live product, we did not later implement it. Let me go to the home page. We did not later implement it like that. Right, if I overrun this now, I see that nothing is happening. So, and the reason is because I felt that there was too much of animation on the design already, so there's no need. Let's just go with our vision alone. So that's what we later implemented. Can you see that when we design it, we have some idea, but when we not implement it, there are some things that are going to change. Do we get that? So that's the best we can explain. I can explain right now. Do you get that? So that we don't spend so much time. So design is just like, oh, this is the sample of what we want to do. Now the front-end developer will take that design and implement it. Do you understand that? All right, guys, let's get into the next thing. The next thing is UI design transfer the brand strength and visual assets to a product interface, making sure the design is consistent, coherent, and aesthetically pleasing. The product team is actually it's a serious space, right, that allows your creativity. Do you understand that? So when we are building products, I am not a front-end developer. I'm sorry, I am not a front-end developer. I am not a graphic designer. But because you are not a graphic designer, that does not mean that you should not understand branding. because whatever product you are going to be implementing must be consistent in all our digital products. Let me give you an example. We have online, we have Perxels on Instagram, Perxels on Twitter, Perxels on LinkedIn. If you go through all of our social media pages, you will see that our branding is the same. It's the same effect that we have. Do you get that? So meanwhile, as a UI UX designer, you are not a graphic designer. Do you get that? Even though you can still play the role of graphic designer to an extent. Do you understand that? But you're not a graphic designer. But because you're not a graphic designer, does not mean that whatever product you will not build will not be different from what we have created or from what the brand has been stated to be. Do you understand that? So that's what that is. Please give me a minute, guys. All right, sorry about that. So let's get into user experience design. Can somebody tell me what user experience design is? Kolade, do you want to try? Kolade, do you want to try? What is user experience design, Kolade? You want to try? Who want to try? Let's go to Ben. Okay, I've got Ben and then Blessing. Do you want to try? Anyone want to volunteer and try? Tosin, do you want to try? Okay, let's have Michael.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
So basically, user experience is how the users interact with the designs, how they experience the functionalities, the interaction with the buttons, and generally how they feel when they use the app you have designed.
All right, thank you for sharing. So somebody said UX has to do with the feel of the website. And I'm not surprised because anytime I ask this question, this is what I usually hear, right? So the feeling is the end goal of the result of user experience. Now let's learn. What is user experience? UX design is a research-based discipline that seeks to understand the user needs and objective to create a solution. So the progress here is that UX is the one that talks to people. UX is the one that seeks to understand what are these people's problems? What do you need? How can we help you? What's your goal? What's your objective? What makes you feel excited? So UX is the part of UI UX design that seeks to understand people. So UX is a research-based discipline that seeks to understand people's need, people's objective, so that when we have all of this understanding, we can actually create a product at the end of the day. The goal of UX design in tech is to improve user satisfaction. That is how easy, how efficient, how enjoyable, how rewarding is this product to the end user. But the major focus of UX in UI UX design is the one that is seeking, is the one that is trying to talk to people, is the one that is mapping, is the one that is analyzing, is the one that is doing all of that, so that at the end of the day, we can have enough information about the people we are building for. And so that when we build this product, at the end of the day, we are not going to build product that we are going to be forcing people to use. I've worked with an organization before that for 7 months, we are actually building orga-centered design. That is what my orga wants, we design. What my orga wants, we design, right? We launched this product. After launching the product, nobody was downloading it. Then we told people that don't worry, if you download this application, and I think this particular thing was like around 2019, right? We were like, see, if you download this application, we're going to give you 5,000 naira. You need to see the way people rushed. People downloaded the app. But guys, after 2, 3 days, 1 week, nobody was using the app again. Then we started to call them and start reaching out that, okay, why are you not using this application? What don't you like about it and all of that? And then they were like, see, this product that you guys built, it's not as if it's not good. It's good, but it's just that I'm used to using my pen and my book for analysis of my market, right? I also have a particular product I'm using right now, so I don't think it's necessary. But if you had actually built this product this way, or if you have solved this part of my product, I will give you all the money that I have in my account. So when we started to talk to people, we started to see what exactly is their pain point. We started to see the things that they would have wished that we built. But when we started the product, we did not reach out to anybody. We just started building. We just started designing. And then at the end of the day, we built a failed product. Do you understand that? So it is UX that seek to talk to people. It's UX that seek to help us to know what we can do better. And UX does not stop at when you build the product. Even after you build the product, we still reach out to the people that are using the product to ensure that they are enjoying the product, to ensure that they find the product easy. And that's why you see that application, they are always, updating their products every now and then. It's out of the research they've done. It's out of the observation at the back end that they've done. Let me give you another example. If you look at WhatsApp, at first at WhatsApp, we don't have status, right? For WhatsApp, we don't have status. But right now we now have status, right? Why? Because the WhatsApp team have observed that people like myself that like paparazzi, any small thing, I am here, any small thing, I am here. We are always changing our DP that time. So they realized that there are certain people that really want to share about their lives. Why can't we have a feature on our application that will allow people to post for 24 hours, as many things as they want to? And ever since they did that, I am so sure that every single one of us here, you might have used this particular feature before, or you know somebody that have used the feature before. Do you get that? So it is the UX that seek to understand the users. So that is UX for you. So I gave an example that, so at the end of the day, the goal of UX is what? For us to have a product that satisfies the user. If you go through Perxels website, it's easy to use, it's easy to understand, so that at the end of the day, when somebody signs up, the person can actually trust that this brand know what they are doing. Do you get that? So that is user experience design. So in the chat section, let me know if you understand before we now go into our practical class. If you understand, just drop emoji so that we'll be sure that you are getting what we are doing here. Now, there are various tools, just drop emoji, guys. There are various tools that we use as UI UX designers. We use Miro, we use FigJam, we use Notion, we use Maze for usability testing, right? We use AI as well, that's Illustrator. We have several tools that we use as UI UX designer. But in this one-day masterclass, I cannot just teach you everything at once, right? It takes 3 months, right? Even sometimes 4 months, right? For somebody to actually, learn this thing professionally. So if somebody wants to learn it professionally, you want to invest time into it. It's not something that you can just learn everything from this masterclass. But because of our own core value at Perxels, we like to teach how things that are valuable, right? We also like to help you to experience what you are doing, what you want to do, or what you're about to enter, so that you have a clear understanding. Oh, this is what these people do. Do you get that? And it is not vague. Do you get? So at the end of this training, I'm so sure that you can tell your friend, oh, this is what UI UX designer do, right? I have received an example. I've gone undergo like a basic masterclass that helped me to understand what they do. Do you guys get that? So now let's go into Figma. Figma is the first tool that we are going to use. There is a competition in the market that, oh, Figma is better than XD, XD is better than Figma. But right now, that competition has died down because Adobe XD actually bought Figma. Do you understand that? Even though there's another rumor that came after that, but a lot of organizations, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, actually use Figma, right? So at Perxels, we also train international students. If you go to our website, you see information about our masters, our students that are international, right? We also have them here. You can see them in the private classes already. You can see them there. So we have our students also outside Nigeria, and we have people in Nigeria that have also received job outside Nigeria because they learn UI UX design, because it's a highly demand particular career. Do we get that? So let's go into Figma. I gave you guys a PDF, right, through Catchy, so that you guys can download it. And as I'm working in class today, you can also follow through. And before the end of today, you know that okay, I've also used Figma before. Somebody's talking about Figma or somebody's talking about UI UX design, you are not total novice again. Now, it is good for you to understand the tool you are using, because this field is actually a creative field. If you cram, you're going to have issue with it, right? So people come to UI UX design because they feel that UI UX design is not as hard as coding. But the truth is that there is a part of UI UX design that involves critical thinking. So you don't want tools to not be your problem. Instead, how can I solve problem should be the problem. Do you understand that? But not tools. So now we are going to talk about everything we are seeing here. And if you are with your laptop and you've signed up on Figma, I want you to also come here and view the interface. Like, look at what I am saying, right? So if you look at this section here, this section is showing us about our team, the draft, and our profile. So this is what this is showing you: the team, the draft, the profile. Why this section here that you see Gantt charts, you're seeing brainstorm, you're seeing one-on-one, you're seeing flowchart? This is what we call the Fig Jam section. This Fig Jam section, that's where we do all of the analysis, whether it's your user personnel, whether it's your affinity mapping, whether it's your empathy mapping, whether it's your information architecture, your user flow, your user journey map. This is where we do all of those analysis. So it is here. Once, if I'm interested, I just click on the Fig Jam and I'll be able to map out all of those things. Then coming down to this place, you will not have this section here. These are all my students' work. You get? So if you come to this section here, this section is showing you the previous work that I have done, right, with my student, but you might not have that section because you are just using Figma for the first time. So if you are with your laptop, click on design file, right? You can click on design file so we can get started. Now, when you click on design file, you are definitely going to see a page like this. So I want to use my existing page for this work. So you click on design file here, you click on it up here. So when you click on it, you are going to see a fresh page like this. Like you see a blank page. Your own can be white. So let me do as if my design tool is basic. So you have a background like this that is empty. Do you understand that? So you also have this section here will be empty. The reason why it's not empty right now is because I have various design there. Maybe I should just open another page. All right, so this is what you would see. You see this section here, you see this section here, you see this section here, and then you see this section here. All right, unmute yourself and talk, that person. The other people that don't want to say anything, you just drop your hand. So I have a lot of people raising their hand, but they are not saying something. Okay, that person that just raised their hand, can you drop your hand? Can you unmute yourself? Okay, so let's go back to what we are doing then. So this is what you see. You see a fresh page like this. Now, this section here is called the toolbar or the tool panel. TOOLPBAR or PANEL. So that's panel. So you can call it the toolbar or you can call it the tool panel. So in this class, let's call it the tool panel. Now, this section here, if I click on this Figma here, I would see back to file, file, edit, arrange vector preference libraries. I'll see help and account. You cannot learn all of this one today, right? So, but starting from the second tool here, the move tool and the scale tool, then you can start using something from it. So this move tool is used for selecting elements on this editor. So this place is called the tool panel. This place is called the layer panel, layer, L-A-Y-E-R. This is the layer panel. This section here is called the editor. This is the editor. And then this section here is called the property panel. This is the property panel. This is the property panel. So we have this section called the tool panel, layer panel, editor, property panel. It's not the one that they will not be talking in your organization. You now be telling them, go to the right, or go to the left, go to the left. You tell them, go to the tool panel Oh, let's go to the property panel. Oh, on your editor, right? Click on that spot on your editor. Then we have the layer panel. So everybody, can we say it together? You don't need to unmute yourself so that you don't have a loud class. So just say it together with me. We have the tool panel, we have the layer panel, we have the editor, and then we have what? The property panel. This section here is where we have the title of our project. So I'll just write my first design. And that's how we did that. So before I said all the functions that we have here, let me know in the chat section if you understand what I've said so far. So just type Y if you understand. So, and you can drop emoji. Figma should be accessed on your laptop, not on your phone. All right. So this is a serious business. This is not a 20K job, right? This is thousands of naira, millions of naira, right? Job. So it's a profession, right? So it's not casual. You get it's a serious business. All right, team members. I'm having low engagement and I need everybody on the team to actually engage. So let's get into our product. This section here is called the move tool. Why this is called a scale tool? The move tool is used for selecting elements on the editor. You know, I said something. Treat this class as if you paid for it. Treat it like you paid for it. This is the foundation, and if you learn it well, it will help you further, right? So we have the move tool. The move tool is used for selecting elements on the editor. So let me give an example. Let's say I have this. This is one of my student work. So let's say that we have this design here now. I pick on my hydropod tool, and I can use this to move things around. The move tool is used for moving elements around. Can you see that? Why the scale tool is used for adjusting elements in a way that it does not distort. So let me get another design that I can use as example. I need image. All right, let's use this as example. So the scale tool is used for adjusting the elements on your editor in a way that it does not distort. So now I'm using the scale tool. I will not go to left skills. I'll put my hand up like this. See, I'm adjusting this up and down, up and down. And right now, guys, can you see that nothing is distorting? It's not distorting. Still remain the design. It's not cutting off. Nothing is changing. The position is good. But now let me use move to do that thing I just did now without holding shift button. Can you see what is happening? Can you see that the move to is just cutting it off? It's just cutting it off. But if it is the scale tool that I use for this, right, it's not going to behave like that. No matter how much I am doing my hand and turning my hand and turning my hand, it will still remain the perfect design it is. So the scale tool is used for adjusting your element in a way that it does not distort. That's the function of that. Now, coming to frames. If I click on this particular frame that is here, something will happen on the property panel. So if I click on the frame, these are the properties that we have here. We have the phone frame, we have the tablet frame, we have the desktop frame, we have the presentation frame, we have watch, paper, social media, Figma community, and archive. These are all of the frames available on Figma. So for the phone frame, if I click on the phone frame, I'll see iPhone 14, iPhone 13, iPhone 13 mini, I'll see iPhone 8, I'll see Android small, I'll see Android size, Android large. So these are all of the sizes of phone available on Figma. If I come to tablet, I'll see Surface Pro 8, I'll see iPad mini 8.3, I'll see iPad Pro 11, I'll see iPad Pro 12.9. So this is the tools this is the frames available on the tablet. For desktop, I'll see MacBook Air, MacBook Pro 14, desktop, wireframe, and TV. So these are all of them. For some of you, like your TV, when you buy a new TV, you know there's always interface that come from it. We are the one that designed it. Do you understand that? So if you come over to presentation, you see all of the slides that you can use for watch as well. You see all of that. So if you access all these things, you see all of the social media platform that we have, papers, phone frame, tablet, desktop that we have there. So this is about the frames. Then if we come over to the shapes, we have the rectangle, we have the line. So if I click on this now and I draw my rectangle, if I come over to this place here, I can draw my arrow. If I come over to this line now, I can draw my line. If I come over to my circle, I can draw my circle. If I come over to my polygon, I draw my polygon. If I come over to my star, I draw my star. If I come over to my, okay, I don't want to talk about place images. So these are all of the shapes available on Figma, and you can explore that too. Then we come over to this list. At Perxels, we don't teach you pencil tool because pencil tool is not very relevant. It's just for freehand, right? It's just freehand. So we don't really need it as designers. Maybe on your Miro, you might need it, but designing on Figma, not really necessary. But for your pen tool, right, you are going to definitely be using the pen tool at Perxels Design School, just in case you want to create graphs or want to create shapes that involves us using the pen tool. So that is that for this one that we have here. Then we come over to the text tool. If I want to type something now, this is what I will do. I just click on this and then I'll come to my editor, then I'll be able to type it. And then we come to resources where you see your component, your plugin, then your widget. You'll learn more about this as time goes on. Now, let's now assume you are not in this class today and you have submitted your assignment to me. I'll click on comment and then I'll say, hello, how are you today? You actually did this, your product is good. I'll write all of this and then I'll just click on it. So wherever you are, you will receive my comment about that part of your design. Do you understand that? So let me know in the chat section if you have questions before I proceed to the next phase. So that's everything you need to know for the two bar or two panel. We have the move tool, we have the frame, we have the rectangle, we have the pen tool, we have the text tool, we have resources, we have the hand tool. The hand tool is for pushing your design, your editor, right, left and right or top to bottom, right? It's just for movement, right? And then we have the comment tool. If I want to talk to you or talk to your product, talk about the product you've created, this is what I am going to use. So in the chat section, let me know if you have question. If you have question, you type Q. If you understand, you type Y. If you don't understand, you type N. All right, let's have you. Yeah, yeah. I think that's Yaya. So Yaya, can we have you? You can ask your question or mute yourself. Okay, so if you guys want to ask question, always unmute yourself. Like, I'm not scary. So unmute yourself. Let's have conversation. Okay, let's have Julius. Julius, let's have you. You have a question. Julius, can we have you? All right, so I need to move. So what do we really want to design in today's class? For our master class, we are going to be creating this interface. Give me a minute, please. So this is the interface we are going to be creating, right? And I want you to look at this design very closely and tell me if you think this is a web frame or a mobile frame. Do you think this is a web frame or a mobile frame? Don't copy anybody. If it is web frame, you type W. If you think it is mobile frame, you type M. Do you think this is a mobile frame or do you think this is a web frame? Do you think it's a mobile frame or do you think it's a web frame? So in the chat section, let me know if you think it's web, if you think it's mobile. So let's receive different answer and then we can talk about why do you think this is web or why do you think this is mobile? Okay, so we have Koya. Oh, sorry, we have Amaka. Amaka, you said this is a mobile frame. Why do you think this is a mobile frame?
Okay, I think it is mobile frame because of the way it's aligned. It's slimmer to fit that of the phone.
Okay. All right.
It's
Thank
not
you. Okay. Thank you for sharing. So she's saying that the reason she's choosing mobile phone is because of the frame size, right? This look like a design that can fit into the mobile phone. That is our phone. All right. So we have some other person that said this is mobile. We have Roses. Hello, Roses. Can we have you? Roses, can we have you? Okay. Hello. Nkombong.
Hello everyone.
Rose, yeah, let's have
I
you.
agree with the first person that just, yes, good afternoon. I'm really excited about this class.
You're
It's just that I
welcome.
don't know anything about it, but okay.
It's fine.
I agree with her because I feel like it's a mobile phone. It's looking like an iPhone 8 or something. I don't know. But I just joined the class and yes.
Okay, thank you for sharing. SG, can we have you? You said this is a mobile frame. Why do you think it's a mobile frame?
Hello, good day. Yeah,
Hi.
yeah, because of the width and the
Okay.
length. Yeah,
Okay, because of the
yes, you
and the
can it
way it's using that.
yeah,
Okay, thank you for sharing.
yeah.
Let's have Aliyu. Aliyu, you're supporting web team. Why web? Why do you think this is web frame? Why do you think that's a web frame? Aliyu. Okay, let's move on to remember. Remember, can we have you? Why do you think this is a web frame?
It's a web frame because if you should have that on an actual maybe a desktop or a laptop, it will appear bigger. So if you are
Okay.
designing,
Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Let's move on to Jonathan Wakili. Jonathan Wakili, can we have you? You supported web. Okay,
Hi,
so let's
I supported web because it looks like a web landing page already. So it's just because it was shrink inside, so that's why it's looking like a mobile landing page.
okay, so you're thinking because I'm zooming out, that's why to some people is appearing like mobile, right? That
Exactly. Yes.
okay, no problem. I like my students to know why they are making decision. So everybody bring out your phone and type perxels.com on your laptop and also type it on your phone. And I want you to see how the layout are on each of the screen. So that's perxels.com. Type it on your phone and type it on your laptop. Actually, the people that are raising their hand, can you please help me to release their hand? They are not talking, right? So just like a form of distraction. So help me to release their hand. So type perxels.com, right, on your laptop and then type perxels.com on your phone. I want you to look at each design. So I'm also going to do the same here. So I'm going to type perxels.com. So let's do that together. So I want you to like be able to see the screens, the two designs, right, on this different screen. So we can tell which one is web, which one is mobile. Now, guys, did you guys agree that the design on the laptop of Perxels website and the design on Perxels mobile phone, that is on phone, do you guys agree that it is actually the same design, but it's the arrangement that is different? If you agree, type I agree in the chat section. If you don't agree, type I don't agree. So look at Perxels design on your laptop and then look at Perxels design on your phone. And then look truly, you can scroll, right? Scroll through the design, see what you're seeing on web, see what you're looking on mobile, right? So I'm saying that the two design are having the same interface, right? But they're having different arrangement. Do you agree with that? If you agree, you type I agree. If you don't agree, you type I don't agree. So the designs are carrying the same design, that is the styling, the layout, the beauty, everything, the same color, same everything, but the arrangement is different. So, all right, we have I agree. Let's have Vivian talk about this matter. Vivian, what do you observe on your laptop and what do you observe on your phone?
Okay, so what I observe and what made me say I agree is that with the little thing I gather with your explanation, and what I've known about design in general is that there's different version for different design. So the way it is arranged on the website, on the web app, it can't be arranged same way on the mobile. So
Okay.
the arrangement setting has to change so that you can actually view it properly on the mobile and the desktop. Because if
Okay.
it's arranged the same way it's arranged on the web app on the mobile, it's going to we're going to have some difficulties viewing the design properly. So it's the same design, but just that the arrangements
Okay.
changed.
It's the same design, but it's just the arrangement that is different. All right,
Yeah.
thank you very much. So, guys, if you look at Perxels on phone, let me just go to the place where we created this interface. So, if you look at Perxels on your phone, you'll notice that the arrangement on phone is more like top to bottom, top to bottom. But if you look at it on web, it's more like it is spread out. The design is spread out on web, that is on your laptop. The design is spread out. But on your phone, when you are viewing that same website, it's more like the top to bottom approach. So exactly. So that's how that is. And if you look at the design that we have created here, so when we are designing our product, we always share it with the developer, right? What design look like on web and what the design look like on mobile. So this is how this design would look on your laptop, but this is how it will look on phone. Can you see that instead of having all of this thing in 3 lines on phone, it's actually top to bottom? And the reason is very simple. Your phone width is smaller than your mobile. Your phone screen is like smaller in terms of width than your laptop. Our laptop actually have what? A larger or a bigger width. Do you understand? But our phone is actually what? Having a slimmer and a smaller width. So when you are trying to know whether something is web or something, or a design is a mobile, whether it is a mobile screen view or whether it is a web screen view, it is the layout of the design that you look out for, not whether I can zoom it out. If I zoom it out, then this thing will be small. Just the way when God was creating us, if you bend your head like this, your head will bend like this. If you bend it like this, you bend like this. So this thing here is inside the manufacture room. So I can decide to make it big here now. I can decide to zoom it out. Do you understand? But if you really want to give a name, whether this is a web screen view or whether it is a mobile screen view, you actually have to look at the layout of the design. So the layout of this design is spread out. We have the navigation, we have the logo, we have the navigation, and then we have the call to action. Like they are actually spread out. But if you look at this same website on your phone, you will not see your navigation spread out that way. It's going to have like a menu. When you click on the menu, that's where you will not see the navigation that you can see on web. If this were to be a mobile view design, right, this picture here is going to be at the bottom, while the text is going to be at the top. Do you understand that? If this were to be a mobile screen design, this picture here is going to be at the bottom. But right now, it's side by side, telling us very well that this is what a web view and not a mobile view. So if I like, I reduce it like this, or if I like, I increase it like this, that does not make it a web view because a mobile view or a web view. It is the layout of the design that help us to determine whether something is a web view or a mobile view. Now, let me show us something. If I click on this frame now, and I click on desktop, let's say I click on desktop frame, right? And then I come over to this frame here, and I click on phone frame. I click on iPhone 14. So this is iPhone, this is desktop. So this is what our laptop view would look like, and this is what our phone view will look like. So even if you compare this with this one, they are not the same side. This is what a web screen view, why this is a mobile screen view. Do you understand that? But more importantly, it is the layout of the design that help us to decide whether something is a web view or a mobile view. So let me know if you understand. Drop emojis if you understand what I've said, right? And if you don't understand, then you want to ask your question in the chat section. Roses, you raised your hand. What's your question? All right. She doesn't have a question. Manager, please, I need you to help me manage the raising of hands of people so it doesn't distract me. All right, let's get back to our business. Now that we have been able to determine and decide that this is a web screen, it's now time for us to start creating our interface. So you come over to this place here, you see the frame, you click on the frame. And then you come over to this place here, you see the phone frame. I will not pick it because that's not what I'm looking for. I will not pick tablet, but this is desktop. If I click on this desktop, I'll see MacBook Air. I'll see MacBook Pro 14. I'll see MacBook Pro 16. I'll see desktop. I'll see wireframe, and I'll see TV. I will decide to click on the desktop. Do you understand? So now the reason we are always using desktop is because I want you to observe the numbers that are here. You know, I said something at the beginning of this class. I said, don't cram design. Design is not cramming because, guys, this is a long journey. A lot of people always come, I want to make money in tech. I want to make money in tech, right? And all of that. And I'm picking UI UX design because it is simple. The real UI UX design requires proper learning. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not like I sabi. You have to learn it well. But if you don't cram from the beginning and you understand what you are saying, right, it will be so good, right? Because the creativity will flow. Now, if you look at this, we have desktop, we have MacBook Pro 14, MacBook Pro 16, we have desktop, wireframe, and TV. If you look at the size of the TV, 1280. If you look at wireframe, 1440, desktop 1440, MacBook 1728, MacBook 14 1512, MacBook Air 1280. The size, they are different. This one is too small. This is too small. This is too big. Sorry. This is too big. This one is too small. This is big. This is now too big. This one is moderate. Why this one is too small? So we are picking desktop because the size is not too small and the size is not too big. So you just make your design process smoother. That's why you see that a majority of the senior designers out there, they're using desktop frame because of the size. It is not too small. It is not too big. So desktop and wireframe, they share the same property in terms of size, but we usually go for what? The desktop frame because of the size of the frame. Now, it's time for you to write this down. Before you start to create anything on your Figma page, you should first of all set up your frame. How do we set up our frame? Do we get it up to this point? Up to the point of me getting my frame. I come to my frame, I pick my desktop. Did you get it up to this point? Type Y if you get it to the point, to that point. Type Y if you understand it to that point. Type N if you don't understand. So if you don't understand, always be the first person to talk. Do you understand? So anytime I'm always going to repeat about 3 times in my class. So anytime I've said, do you understand? You don't understand, go to the chat box and type N so that you will be, because a lot of people might end up getting it, but you might be a student and you want to be the first person to say, oh no, I don't understand how you got to that point. All right, guys, now let's learn how to set up our frame. You click on the, first of all, Wakoko call and you first of all write it down. You understand? You write what I'm about to say down. You observe before you now practice it if you want to practice it. So understanding before doing. So you click on the desktop frame. You come to your property panel. You will see layout grid. You click on this layout grid. You click on it. Now that I've clicked on it, I'm not seeing tiny boxes. When it's not that we are doing further math here. So these boxes, they are too tiny. So you come back to your layout grid here. You see these 9 boxes. These 9 boxes is called the layout grid setting. I'll click on it. When I click on it, I'll see grid. I'll see size color. I will focus first of all on this grid here. I'll click on the drop down of the grid. I'll change it to columns. Can you see that? And then I will come to my count. Now that I've changed it to columns, it's now having 5 grid. But this one itself is now too big. So I'll come back to my count. Instead of 5, I'll change my count to 12. Can you see that? I'll come to my margin. I'll change my margin to 100. If you remember very well when we were young, our mom will say, don't write on the margin. Oh. And some of us were like, if I write on the margin, will something happen to me? So they say, don't write on the margin, or don't write on the margin. And the reason is because they know that as a young child, it's very possible for you, right, to fill the entire book with writing without leaving any space for your user or for your for your teacher, to have clarity of what you've done. You just fill everywhere with text and numbers. So that's why they ask us then not to, not to write on the margin, not because it's a taboo. Do you understand that? That's how it is too with design. Because you are a junior designer, that's why you are using grid. Do you understand? It will also help you, right, to manage spacing and ensure that we have enough spacing around our design. So let's repeat it for the second time before you now practice it for the third time. I click on this desktop, I come to the layout grid. I click on the layout grid. Immediately I click on the layout grid, I'm going to see the tiny boxes in my design, right? But this is too tiny for me to work with. So I will come to this 9 boxes called layout grid setting. I'll change grid, I'll change it to columns. I'll come to my count, I change my count to 12. And then I come to my margin, I change my margin to 100. So from grid to columns, my count to 12, my margin to 100. From grid to columns, from count to 12, margin to 100. So ladies and gentlemen, that's how we got that. Now it's time for you to practice if you want to. Click on the desktop, click on the layout grid, come to your grid setting, change from grid to columns, change from count to 12, and then your margin to 100. And that's how we have this amazing screen that we are seeing right here. Any questions so far, team members? Any question? Any question? Okay. Why are you using only columns and not rollman? Very good question. So when we are teaching you how to design, there are some things that we can add to it so that maybe life can be very, very easy for you. But at the same time, we know that the beginning of your learning design, right, you are building habits of design already. So the moment we start to use columns, we are using rule. Some of you now, that is what you now do. When you are 7 years in design, you still be using rule and column, right? So that's going to be too lame or too just not necessary, right? So the way we are teaching you is more like you guys will work with international firms. Do you get that? And when you are working with international firms, what you know right here in Nigeria is supposed to align with what they know there. So we use grid columns, right, on the team, whether you're a senior person or you're a junior person. But the moment you are using the role and then the column, it's more like that person is too basic. Like you are like an intern. Even an intern shouldn't be using column because it's not necessary. So some people want to be creating design as if you don't want to make any mistake, like it's just too, or it's unnecessary for you to use it. The column alone is good to go. Do you understand? People that use role, they want their design is going to look busy in terms of their frame. At the end of the day, they're trying not to make any mistake. But at the end of the day, you still don't have any, like someone that use column and someone that use roll and column, they don't have difference. Like the arrangement of the design is still going to be good even without column. Do you understand? So it's not necessary, especially because remember, you're not the only one that will be working on your team. You have other people that are working on your team. So whatever thing you are learning is supposed to be industry standard. All right. So somebody said, why? Okay. Somebody said, why? What about the gutter? Are we changing or leaving it to 20? You don't touch the gutter. If we are to change the gutter, I would have mentioned it in class. There are some people that don't even use grid system at all in their design. Like they don't use grid at all. And the reason is because they can create without grid. There's sometimes that I design and I don't use grid and I will create my design to be very good. It will be implementable because I've been experienced, I've been designing for a while. But for somebody that is just learning design right now, right? That's why we are teaching you the 12 grid system. There are several grid systems that you can use. You can use 8 grid system, you can use 4 grid system, you can use 6 grid system. But we have observed in the industry that junior designers find it easy to use the 12 grade because it's multiple. Do you understand? Rather than just using the 4 or the 8 or the 6. So the 12 one works well with somebody that is just learning design. So that's why you use that. So it's not as if everybody in this industry is using 12 grade system, but for junior designer, it's a very good start for you. So somebody say is 100 the rule of thumb. So the reason for margin is what we call white space. And just like I said, it's not everything that you're going to learn in this class. Do you understand? So margin, the reason we're having this margin is white space, because when you don't have margin for somebody that is just learning design, the person will start their text from this place here. And that is going to make the design to look rough. Do you understand? And not looking neat. So that's why we are using 100. So for us, 100 is enough. Do you understand? So most of the time when people use 12 grid system, you see that their margin is 100, but that does not mean that we cannot change it. All right, Roses, you raise your hand.
Yes, I did. I'm quite, not quite, I'm very new in this. So I'm
Okay.
trying to get to where I would see the grid so I could do exactly what you're doing,
Okay.
and I am lost.
Okay, so first of all, if you are following me from the
Yeah.
beginning of this conversation, it's not possible for you to be lost. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So it's not possible for you to be lost because I've been teaching people for a while now. So I know when somebody is just maybe you do not start with us and all of those things will be so
Yes,
if,
I didn't start with you people. I just came in, that's why.
okay, so if you
I
don't
wouldn't
start,
want to take you back.
but you're already doing that. So if you don't, if you
Sorry.
know that you can mute yourself, please let me say what I want to say. So if you know that you did not join the class from the beginning, right, you cannot know what other people that were here before you cannot know what they've known. However, I'm just going to repeat this for the last time. But if you know you join us late, don't try to come to the class and say, I don't understand, because you will not understand. That's why you should have come early. All right, Julius, let's have you. Julius, let's have you. You can unmute yourself. Yes, let's have you. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hi. Hi.
Okay, my question is the reason for setting the margins or
Yeah.
the grid lines, is it actually for the alignments of maybe text, fonts, and other elements you want to use?
Yes. So
And
design is
secondly, if you don't want to use the grid lines or the columns,
so
you can
design is
actually go with it.
okay. I think your network is lagging, but that's fine. Mute yourself. I think your network is lagging, but that's fine. Mute yourself. Let's have Bature. I don't know if that's how to pronounce the name. Bature,
Yeah,
can we?
but
Okay.
my question is, does this apply across all frames? Like if I'm working on mobile phone or any other frame, the 12 columns, does it also apply to all those frames?
Mhm. Okay. So for the first person that asked the question, the person said that, oh, for my frame, right? Am I like is it for alignment? So I want you to look at this design now. This design is structured, is layout, right? For you to achieve this correct layout, right, you have to use grid system. But if you are a senior person, I can design without using layout. But even with senior guys, we don't do overdo because you are not the only one that is working on your team. And there's something called design system. Because we don't want anybody to come to the team and say, I'm a bado, I can design. You are going to see me, I can design, right? So there are different people coming from different places. So every company will have a system that work for them. So for some people, their grid system is 12 grids. Some people, their grid system is 6 grid. I have worked with a brand that used 4 grid before. Do you understand? But they will just tell you this is our grid system. And all the way you have applied your 12 grid is still the same way you apply your 4 grid. So it does not mean that, oh, you now start to relearn it or something. No. You understand? Some people will choose to use 12 grid. Some people will decide to use 6 grid. But the purpose of the grid is just for arrangement and consistency, right? So that when second designer is creating, I am not having different view from what the design is. If you look at Perxels website, Instagram right now, on Perxels Instagram, it's not only one designer that is creating. Some of the design, I'm the one that created. Some part of the design, some of my staffs are the one that create it. But you will never tell in this product that you don't know the one I have created. You don't know the one that another person have created because there's a system that is guiding your work. So there's something called design system. right? That design system, every organization have it so that their design can look the same, consistent, even if different people are the one designing the product. And the purpose of the grid system is for alignment, right? It makes your design to look properly aligned and properly structured. So somebody said that the second person, what was the second person Bature question? Bature, can you repeat your question?
I said, does does the 12 column system apply to all frames, like mobile phones and whatnot?
Obviously, no. On phone now, phone is a smaller screen, so we have different frame on that. You cannot learn everything in this particular 2 hours training, right? So this is iPhone. You can see that iPhone is smaller than desktop. So this grid that work for your desktop cannot work on your mobile application, right? If you enroll at Perxels or any other school of your choice that you prefer, you will see that when they are teaching you, they will teach you the grid system that work for mobile design. Do you understand? All right, so any other question? Let me see in the chat section if there's any other question. All right, there's no other question. Let's get into it. So let's repeat this section for the lady that said she did not understand that part. So I come to my frame. When I click on the frame, I'll see all the frames available. I'll click on desktop, and then this is it here. So I'll come to my layout grid. I click on the layout grid. When I click on the layout grid, I'll come to these 9 boxes. I'll change from grid. I'll change it to columns. I'll change my count to 12, and I'll change my margin to 100. So I always advise my students, write down first. You cannot just depend on your brain to just teach you everything. Like, write things down so that it can remind you. Do you get that? So now let's start with our business logo. So we'll change this to business world. And then we have this to be 13. And then we now have this. So let me quickly do naming. This is called the logo. This section is called the navigation section. This section is called the call to action. This is called the title text. This is called the body text. And then this is called the call to action. So we have the logo, navigation, title text. I'm sorry, call to action. This is call to action, please. This is the call to action button. This is now title text. Title text. Then we have this to be body text. And then we have this to be call to action. And then this is like picture representation. We have the logo, we have navigation, we have call to action, we have title text, we have body text, we have call to action, and picture representation. So we have the logo, navigation, title text, call to action, title text, body text, call to action, and then picture representation. Now for your navigation, write this down. Navigation size is usually between size 16 to 24. Navigation text size is usually between size 16 to 24. Size 16 to 24. So there's no how you try 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, that you not find a size that would work for your navigation, except that font is a strange font, right? So for between 16 to 24, you will get a suitable size for your navigation. So you want to write that down. So I'll start to type home. And then I come to this size here. This is where we change the size. So anything I click on the editor, the property will only show on the property panel. So instead of 30, I'll change this to 20. Can you see that? So this is, I also like that you don't cram. If you look at this place here, you can see T-E-X-T. So everything that has to do with your text, you will see from this line of text here to this line here. So everything here is talking about what the text. So this is the font that we are using. This is the weight of the font. This is the size of the font. So if I want this size to be very big now, I see. If I want it to be small, I'll just change it back to 20. So text, this is the size of the text. So I change it to 20, and then I place it here. This is now where people always find it difficult when it comes to what's it called now? When it comes to grid, some people will think this is what we are trying to do. Like you do like this. No, that's not what we are doing. So you click on your first after design, after typing out your first one, you press Control D. I want you to write it down so that you don't forget. Control D means to duplicate. Control D means to duplicate. For those of us that are using MacBook, it is Command D, right? If you are using MacBook, it is Command D. But if you are using Windows, it is Control D. Do you understand that? So you bring this here, and then this is Home, and I have Features. Now, some people will be like, Fiwa, why are we not doing like this? Why are we not doing? And then we not type, not do like this, not type, not type. When we click on shifts, why are you not doing like that? We don't do that in UI UX design because you need to approach your element as individual elements. Like approach your design element as individual elements. So I have designed, this one is an individual, this one is an individual. Do you understand? So we have the home, we have the features. So I will do Control D, and then I'll bring this here. Control D, and I try pricing. Anytime you do Control D, it will make it double, but it's on it. So for example, if I click on this, I do Control D. It's on it. The pricing is now 2, but the second one is at the top. So I have to drag it out for me to see it. Let's do it again. Now this one is just 1. So I click on this, I do Control D. So now it's 2. So I have to drag it out for me to see the second one. Do you understand? So I have blog. So now it's time for us to measure from here to here 62, from here to here 76, from here to here is 59. Can you see that? So how do I even do the size, the space? How do I know the size between the spaces? I want you to write it down. How to measure. Click on the first element. Click on the first element. Over on the second element. Over means place your mouse on the second element and then press Alt. Click on the first element, over on the second element, and press Alt. Click on the first element, HOVER. Over means just place your mouse. That's right now I'm not touching, I just place my mouse there, right? So place your mouse means over on it means you should place your mouse on the text. Then you now press Alt on your keyboard to now tell you that, oh, this is 62. So you click on the first element, you hover on the second element and press Alt. Click on the second element, over on the third element and press Alt. Click on this, over on this and press Alt. So how do we measure, guys? You click on the first element, you hover on the second element and press Alt. You not do press Alt like this. Like this. You press it down, the Alt, you press the Alt down so I can see it. Oh, this is 62. I click on this, I hover on this, this is 76. I click on this, I hover on this, this is 59. So please let me know in the chat section if you understand what I have said so far. So now, right now, my own is inconsistent. I'll teach you how to make it consistent. But before we go on, I want to know in the chat section if you understand what I have said so far. Type Y if you understand, type N if you don't understand. Or if you have question, you can type Q. All right, let's have Yaya. What parts you do not understand? Unmute yourself. I'm waiting for other people's response. If you understand, if you understand, type Y. Okay. So somebody said, "Oh, my network kicked me off. I don't understand anything." All right. So that's not the problem of this particular class. So if your network kicked you off, that's not why that's not like the problem of this particular class. Do you understand? So it's just network messing up with you there. So if you understand, the people that are on the call, I want you to type Y if you understand. I want you to type N if you don't understand, so that I can know how to help for people that are in class. All right. So now let's move on to the next one. Now that I've seen that this is not like is the spacing is not the same. How do I make it the same? Because making it the same will help your design to be consistent. And at the end of the day, it will be visually appealing. So I'll click on the first, I hover, I press hold. This is 62. I want to look at the design that I'm replicating and see the spacing there and compare my own spacing. Obviously, what I have there is not something like this. The feature is not this close in the design that I have here, right? The feature is not too close. So what do? I push it further. So for the first one, I will tell myself, what do I want? This is currently 52. I want it to be 50. So right now I made it 50. So how do I push it to the left? If I don't want to like manually, like if I don't want to manually push it like this, the way you can push this like this, you can actually use your keyboard to do that job. So there's something called arrow on the keyboard. Everybody should have arrow on the keyboard. If you don't have arrow on your keyboard, that means you might want to go and throw that your laptop away. So if you look at this now, this is the top arrow, this is left arrow, this is bottom arrow, this is right arrow. So these are the arrows on the keyboard. So if I want my design to go left, I'll use the arrow left. So for example, if I push my arrow by 2 now, 1, 2, I see that it has moved to the left. If I measure it now, that's 48. If I want it to be 50, I'll move it to right, 1, 2. That's already what? 50. So I'll do the same. Figma is so intelligent that if you push it manually, Figma will tell you when you get to 50. Like once you start pushing like this, it tell you, okay, you're not at 50. But there's sometimes that Figma will do anyhow. So in the case that Figma do it anyhow, let's say that Figma is having it like this and it's not showing you. So right now this is 62. I will move to the left 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is now 50. This one from year to year is 97. So how many times will I push like that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 90 already now. That's 89, right? Let me take it to 90. Now I will now move 40 times. 1, 2, so I'll behave as if I'm a junior designer and count it to 40. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so now let's move. This is 47, 7 times now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is it. But you can actually just move it manually. If you move it manually, Figma will let you know when you get to 50. But there's sometimes that it might not do that. So that's why I'm teaching you like an alternative for you to use during the class, for the class. Do you understand? So let's move on to the next phase of this training. I'm going to bring this rectangle here, and then I will draw this. Then I'll draw this here. So now if you look at this rectangle here, you see that there is like slight curve on the edge of the design. So I'll click on this rectangle. I will adjust it. After adjusting it, I will now come to the corner radius. You want to write it down. Do you get that? Writing things down help you remember things very well. And it helps you to understand instead of cramming. When you cram design, you are not going to be creative. But when you understand the interface and how they behave, you'll be able to do beyond what you are taught in class. So now, if I want to give curve to the edge of my rectangle, I'll click on this rectangle and come to this corner radius. Right now, this is a 0. If I change it to 5, you'll see that there is now slight curve. If I change it to 10, can you see that the curve has become curver, if there's something like that? If I change it to 20, can you see that it's now curved? If I give it to 100, it will be very, very curved. But according to the design that we are creating, the head is just slightly curved. So I click on this rectangle and then I change it to 10. That's what we have there, just slightly curved. So the corner radius is what helps us to achieve curve in our rectangle or on our rectangle. So if I draw a rectangle like this and I want it to be curved, I just click here and I come to my corner radius. Let's say I change it to 100, it will be very curved. Let's say I change it to 10, it will be slightly curved. Can you see that? So that's how we created that part. So in the chat section, type Y if you understand, and if you don't understand it to this point, let me know. That's if you are in the class. Do you understand? So if you understand, type Y. If you don't understand, type N. I need everybody's response. Okay, I'm just seeing Bature work. So maybe we should just stop the class already, since it's only one person that is responding. Where are the other guys? Okay, where's the manager? I need everybody in the class to respond if they understand it. All right, I'm waiting. Okay, so let me see the chat section. So it's very, very important for the class to be engaging, right? Because it helps us to know the state of the people that we are dealing with, and then we can pick it up. Let's have Promise. What's your question?
Please, I'd like to ask. I got lost at the point where you were writing the text. How did you do, like, how you moved, and how where business, how you made it like a bit more bigger than the rest?
So to make text big on Figma, Figma is not a tool that is hard, right? So if you are, so for example, let's say I have Badmos here now, and I want Badmos to be big. My intuition will tell me that I'm supposed to increase the size. Do you understand? So Figma is not like a magic. It's, if you're working with your mind, you know what to do. So now this is Badmos. Badmos is looking too small. I want it to be big. You click on Badmos, you come to the property panel. On the property panel, you look at the top. This one is design. There's nothing sounding like text there. I look at constraints. It's not text. I look at this one is layer. It's not text. I look at this one, TEXT. This one is text. Now I've gotten to the text section. This one here is the name of the font. This enter is the name of the font. This is the weight of the font. This one is the size. So right now it is 20. So my intuition will play another role there. I say, if something is 20, that it is small. If I want it to be big, what do? I'll give it 100. I can give it 100 to be big. But in this case now, this business world, right, the size that we are currently using is 30. For the navigation, I said navigation is usually between size 16 to 24. Right now, we are using 20. So this one is size 30. This one is size 20. So size 30 and 20 will obviously not look the same. Size 30 will look bigger, right, than that. But if you are typing and you're feeling like I want to make one bigger, another one smaller, just come to the text property. That's why it's called the property panel. Come to the text property, look at the text section, and then you see a number here. This is currently 20. You change it to the size that will fit into what you're building. So that's the answer to that. So let's see if there's any other person that have question. All right, moving forward, team members, let's get into it. Now, this is called the title text. For the title text, the size is usually between size 45 to 65. Size 45 to 65. It's not how you not find a size that is there. I intentionally picked this design because this title text passed 65. Now let's watch. Start up that people like. This is it here. I didn't spell that well. Let's type it again. Start up that people like. Right now, guys, obviously, with my eyes, because design is visual. With my eyes, I can tell that, this text is small. Let me make it big like this one. So I'll first of all try 45. I can see that, oh, this is still small. Then I try 60. This is still small. I try 65. This is now where creativity comes in. This is where, as a designer, you need to understand that you are also allowed to improve something. The principle is like, oh, for junior designers, or when you are designing, there's no how you know find for navigation between 60 and 45 to 65. But right now in this design replication, I can tell that this startup, let me place it on it. Can you see that the text is smaller, right, than this? So I can tell that it's more than 60. So I can extend it to 80. But you see this situation of your Uiux section being more than 65 is very rare. And that's why I intentionally picked this design so that I'm able to explain that. Normally from 45 to 65, you definitely find a size that works for your navigation. But in some cases like this, you can extend it because it is not by cramming. You understand? It's by you looking at what you have here and trying to replicate that. So right now, guys, I have my startup typed here. Startup that people like. Somebody might be like, how did I make my start people like to come down? So let's do that again. I'll come here, I type startup that I will enter. I'll click on enter. When I click on enter, it will go down. Do you understand? Then I can keep typing people like. So this is it. And then I will now come back to the text section. So everything about your text is here. The name of the text you are using, the weight of the text. When I say the weight, it means how slim or how fat something is. Right now, you can say that this one is bold. This one is looking, slim or regular. So I'll come to this regular. I'll make this bold. If I'm not okay with it, I can make it black. Right? I can try thin. Thin is making it too thin. If I come back here, I'll see extra light. If I come here, I'll see light. If I come here, I see regular. If I come here, I see medium. If I come here, I see semi-bold. If I come here, I see bold. If I come here, I see extra bold. If I come here, I see black. So any one that you think looks like it. So I feel bold is actually looking like what I have here. So I choose bold. I will obviously not choose thin because that is too thin. So I chose bold. Can you see that? Now I want you to write something down now. Write it down. Your navigation text and body text, they share the same property. Navigation and body text, they share the same property. Do you know why some people find it difficult to create design that is appealing to the eyes? The reason is because some people crammed design. Some people did not come to learn design understanding that it is not something that it's not the way I created Perxels website. That's not the way I'm going to create maybe Jumia website. It is based on the problem I'm solving. It is based on the demand of the things that we are putting into the element or into the frame. So as a UI UX designer, you don't want to what? Cram anything. That's how we train our people here, our own people here at Perxels. We don't cram here. You understand the concept of design. And for you to understand the concept of design, you want to pay attention to class. You want to write things down. Some of us are fast to go to the laptop and start creating the design. No, that's not how it works. First of all, you write it down. When you write it down, when you receive what I've said, for example, now in this class, if I do an assessment now and I say, what is the size you use for navigation? Some people would have forgotten because you did not write it down. But if you have written it down, by the time you leave this class and you've eaten, you've rested, and you want to design, it will be much easier. Definitely, there's going to be back and forth. That's why you have mentors, right? They're going to put you through when you forget things. Do you get? Or they'll say, oh, this is what we said. But because you've written it down, it's faster for you to pick up and say, yes, I wrote this down, but I forgot how it was implemented. So writing things down is very, very important. Number two is that this is your first time of learning this thing. So don't expect yourself to be perfect. But it is important that you are in this class and you listen to what we are doing and you try to implement. Your first day is going to be different from your second day. It's going to be different from when you have learned this thing for 3 months. Do you get that? So I'll be rounding up the section very soon. So let's pick it up from where we are. I have startup that people want. So I just said it now that navigation and body text, they share the same property. And the reason they share the same property is because of consistency. We want our design to look consistent. So instead of having maybe like 20 here, if you have this space 24, it's just going to look messy. So they advise us, right, from the principle that your navigation and body text should share the same property. That is, they're sharing the same size, they're sharing the same color, that's sharing the same weight. Now let's repeat it. They're sharing the same size, they're sharing the same color, they're sharing the same weight. So I'll do Control D and then I bring this here. So I'll not type outcome centered products that reduce churn, optimize pricing. I'm typing what is there actually, and grow your subscription business end to end. Bam. So I put it here. So I just type that. And if you look at this, the size here is 20. The size for my navigation tool is 20. So we have get started. So I'll just type, I'll click on my text again, come here and type get started, right? So I'll pick everything that I have here, Control D, and then I'll put it here. So let's do that all over again. We have, let me put this one here. So let's do that again. We click on text, then we type start up, that, enter, people like. And I said navigation and body text, they share the same property. So because they share the same property, I can just click on this navigation and do Control D. Control D means what? To duplicate, and then I'll drag it here. And then I will not type all of these things. I'll type it there. So I don't want to like type it all over again because of time. So I'll just type everything. I'll type it here. And then at the end of the day, I'll pick these two guys here, Control D, and then I'll bring it, I'll put it here. So that is what we have done so far. Remember, the first time we started, we said you should set up your frame, right? After setting up the frame, the next thing is for us what? Type our business word, which is our logo. For our business word, we use size 30. For navigation, I say your navigation is usually between 16 to 24. There's no how you're not going to find a size. There is no how you're not going to find a size. And then we have the call to action button, right? So I talked about the corner radius, that this corner radius here help us to know the measure of what? The curves, whether it is very curved. If it's a very curved, now just make it 100 and to be very curved. And if I don't want it to be curved at all, I just give it a 0. Right? But if I want it to be slightly curved, I can just give it like 10, right? So that's corner radius. Then coming back to this, we talk about the size of your title text. I say title text is usually between size 45 to 65. However, there are some exceptions. And as a designer, you should know that everything has exception. The design is not a cram apple. Everything has exception. Some people can decide to use 12-bit system. Some people can decide to use 6-bit system. Do you understand? But as a junior designer that is going through a structured training, do you understand? You'll be given, like we have to start somewhere with you. But as time goes on, you will now start to discover that, oh, so if I change it this way, it can also still work because you're already gaining understanding of the career path or of the skill. Do you get that? So we talk about this one now, we change it to 80. Then coming over to navigation, we said navigation and body text, they share the same property. That is the same size, the same color, and then the same weight. Then once I'm done, I draw my rectangle. I want to do this one that is there. I draw my rectangle, right? To represent my picture section. So let me know in the chat section if you understand what I have done up to this point. before we now go into learning how to add colors to these elements. So type Y if you understand, type N if you have question. So somebody said, my texts are permanently fixed at the bottom. All right, so the reason your text is doing like that is because number one, you are just starting to learn design, right? And you do sometimes you go and click on what I did not ask you to click, but you will not know, right? So what you have done is that for that person that has the question, the person text is sticking to this top section, right? So what the person have done is that the person have done auto layout. Do you get that? So my advice for you right now, if you're interested, is to click on your desktop and delete it, and then go and pick your frame from the beginning one more time. So the reason that happened is because you have done the auto layout, like you're working on the auto layout, and I've not even taught you auto layout. So it's possible for a junior designer to be doing what you did not ask them to do. It's just normal because you are just learning it for the first time. Do you understand? So delete it and create a new frame and then start to type one more time. You will have a better result. Then somebody said, okay, does the font size used on desktop frame apply to other wireframes? So what do you mean by wireframe? Do you mean other frames? Because wireframe is not what we are doing right now. So let me hear from you. Are you saying that, do you mean for other frames like phone frame, like maybe MacBook Pro and all of that? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm asking. I said wireframe.
Obviously, it's just like me now. Me, I'm a chubby lady, right? We now have another sister that is slim. Are we going to wear the same shirt? No, you get. So the size that work on desktop is not the same one that work on mobile phone. You get. That's why if somebody wants to make money from this field, you have to go and learn it well. Do you get that? You cannot learn this in one class, 2 hours, right? And think you will learn everything. It's just like a brief of what this entire thing is. What I'm teaching today is just like an introduction, but I'm taking it this way because I love anybody that come in contact with me or our brand Perxels to have an understanding of, oh, this is what this is. So you're not going to become a designer in this one masterclass. Do you understand? So some of you might be overthinking it. Do you think you want to become a designer in one class? No, right? It's just for you to grab, okay, so this is what these people do. And for you to feel that, okay, do I really want to go into this field? Is this something I'll be interested in doing? Do you get? It's not for you to be certified today. You cannot be certified today. For us at Perxels, it takes 3 months for us to certify a student for UI UX design. Okay, somebody said the call to action should be what size? There is no size to call to action, right? You just look at what you are designing. So, and then try to figure out what size it can be like visually. Do you get that? It has a size, definitely, but I'm not going to tell you the size because part of the things we teach you in your first 4 weeks at Perxels is to train your eyes and your attention to details. Do you understand? So our eyes is part of our tool, and our ability to be patient, to listen, observe is part of the skill as a UI UX designer. So it has a size, but me, I want you to visually look at the size of what you are creating because it's part of the build up that we are doing there. Because imagine if I see this shape here now and I come and do something like this, like my eyes can tell me that I feel I was a big bag you, like yeah, you have carried this to another level, or I can't do something like this, or I can't do something like this. This is not what I'm saying there. Do you get? So it's part of this challenge in this class for you to like visually look at what you are trying to create and then create it. When you do that consistently for 4 weeks, you have mastered the tool. You'd have learned to pay extra attention to details. Do you get that? All right, team members, let's move. So if you look at this design now, we are done with like the hero section. The first section of a landing page is called the hero section. The first section of a landing page is called the hero section. The first section of a landing page is called the hero section. Now, for this hero section right now, this rectangle that I have is having orange. This one here is having blue. So how do I give color to design? There are several ways you can give color to a design. But in this class, I'm going to teach you only one method. So there are 3 ways to give color. to design. But in this class, I can only give you like 3 ways right here, right? So the first one and the one I will teach you is color code. So the color code for this particular orange is FF7143. So this is the color code. Color code for the orange. So now that I know that that's the color code for the orange, let me put it up here for myself. I'll click on this rectangle. I'll now come to the fill. So on Figma, we don't call it color. We actually call it fill. So I'll come to the fill, and then I will now come to the color code here. I'll click on it. Once you click on it, it will highlight everything automatically. Now let's do it again. I click on the rectangle, which is this gray. This gray, I want to give it this orange. I click on this rectangle. I will now come to the fill. On the fill, I'm seeing D9, D9, D9. I'll click on it, and then I will now change my own to FF7143 and click on enter. Can you see that? So that's how I change that. If I want to change this to orange color, so I click on the rectangle, I come to the fill, and then I type FF7143. Can you see that? So you can use the color code to give color to it. Now for the blue color is 5554D4. So it's 555. That's for the blue. So for the blue, it is 55544. So I'll come here. I'll click on this rectangle, and then I'll come to the color code, and I'll type 5554D4, and then I'll click on enter. Can you see that? I'll now click on get started. I'll come to the field. I'll type for color white, because white is what is inside. White is FFFFFF. That's 6 Fs. And then it will change. I'll come over to this space here. I'll come to the field. I'll see 0000. I'll click on it. I'll change it to FFFFFF. And I'll click on enter. So this is how to create a color. So we repeat all of that so that we can get it better. So for this, I want to give it orange. The color code for my orange is FF7143. Perxels color code is different from Carrywise color code. It's different from Piggyverse color code. It's different from Uber color code or UBA color code. You understand? Everybody have their own color code. So some brand can decide that, oh, they want to give you the color code. So if they say they are giving you color code, you just click on the rectangle. You come to the field. You type out the color code FF7143. Enter. You come over to this one here. The blue. They say the blue is 5554D4. So I want to put the number there. So I click here, and then I will come here and I will type it there, 5554D4, and I click on enter. So for the get started, it is 6 Fs. That's like the white color is 6 Fs. 1 F F F F F F. Then I come to this get started. I type again FF FF FF. That's how we got that. Do we get that? So let me know in the chat section if you understand the color code method that I just talked about. Type Y if you understand, type N if you don't understand, or type Q if you have question. I need the response so that I will be sure that we are good. Okay, anyone with question on that, on how to give color to your section? All right, team members. Now the next thing is for us to put picture, right? To add picture into our design. So we always have different places you can get picture, right? But for somebody that is just starting, like your first 1 week, we usually introduce you to Unsplash. But you see all those amazing designs that you guys are seeing online that really interest you. It is not on Unsplash that we're getting it from. We have our secrets as designers. So, but for basic students, Because most time for basic students, we are trying to just help you to learn to pay attention, to learn to use the tool for like 4 weeks. You understand? After your 4 weeks in hand, you cannot start proper UI UX design. But all this one now is just like to introduce you, to help you to understand the tool, to help you master, your hand on your laptops as well. Because one of the challenge that most of us face is that we don't know how to use our laptop to do all of these, tech activities and all of that. So for the first 4 weeks, that is our focus. Your ability to understand your tools, your ability to know how to figure out your laptops. Do you understand that? Those are the things that you will do like for the first 4 weeks if you attend Perxels Design School. All right, let's have Amaka. Amaka, I'll meet yourself. Let's have you.
Thank you very much. Very much. I had a question on the adding of color. I got cut off at the beginning where you were showing how to get the color code. Then I joined in back in the middle. Sorry about that. Please.
Okay, so I will not be able to repeat that, right? Because I spent about like two or three times to talk about that. So when the video is shared or when the this record is shared, you can actually access that information. All right, guys. So let's go to unsplash.com. When you get to unsplash.com, you can actually type what you are looking for. In this case, what we are looking for is like manager or corporate people, right? So you don't have to get the exact picture that we have there, but a picture that looks like it. Do you understand that? So I just type manager and I'm trying to look at which of my picture is good. The platform we are using is unsplash.com and I've dropped it on the Slack channel. I say Slack channel. I thought I'm talking to my student. I've dropped it on Discord, right? So this is the picture here. I'll click on this picture, right? You can see the faces of these ladies that are smiling. I'll click on download free. So I've clicked on download free, which is Microsoft 365. So let's do this section again. You come to unsplash.com. Then you click on what are you looking for. You can say I'm looking for managers or manager, anyone that you like. So you will see these 4 grids of pictures. These ones like this, they are paid pictures. You can see that they say view more on iStock. So if you go and download this one, you have watermark, and in design, it's a taboo to use watermark. So except you have money to pay, that's when you should use this one. But for now, I don't advise you to start spending so much money on those things. Instead, just scroll down. You'll see different pictures that you can use, right? So this picture here actually looks like what we are looking for, right? So this design, a man or a woman, but this time around 2 women. So I feel this is good. So I clicked on it and I click on download free. So this is the name of the picture is Christiana. So I come over to my design. So I come over to my design and then I want to bring it into Figma. I want you to write this also down. You come over to your rectangle that is your shape. You scroll down, you see place image video. You click on it. Let's do it again. I've downloaded my picture. The name of my picture is Christiana. So I'll come over to this place here, which is my rectangle. I'll see place image / video. I'll click on it. So it will open my folders where things are, being downloaded. So you know where your own is. My own is always on recent. So I just click on recent, and then this is the picture here, Christiana. So I click on it. When I click on it, and then I'll see open. So I'll click on open. When I click on open, I will now come to the picture that I want. This is the picture section. I'll click on it and it has entered into it. Can you see that? Do it one more time. After downloading your on unsplash.com, you'll come to your shape here. You see place image. And then you come to recent. You click on Christiana. You click on open. When you click on open, then you see the picture, you enter into it. Do you understand that? So let's do it one more time. You come to your rectangle. This is rectangle. You come to place image, recent, Christiana. I click on it. I click on open. When I click on open, I'll just come to where I want the picture to fit into. This is it. Just click on it and it will fit into it. So let's do it for the last time. I come to the shape. I come to place image / video. I come to recent, Christiana. I click on it. I click on open, and then I click on enter. And that's how we created that part. Now, if you look at what we have here, this picture and everything here is feels closer. So even though I can still do something beyond, but because we are beginners, right, we don't want to overly make things complex because this is your first time of learning all of this. So some of it might look like a magic, but when you refresh your mind on it, like when you learn it again, it becomes better, especially when you have a good tutor. So this is it here. This is what we have created. So somebody will be like, where is the grid? I can on, I can off my grid. So you can see the highs. I can on and off my grid. So if I'm designing, I keep it open, right? Just to ensure that my rectangle and everything, they are on the same line. None of it is passing where it should not pass and stuff like that. So once I'm done and I want to fill my work, I will take it off so that I can see how clear and clean my design is. Do you understand that? So ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to stop. Sorry for taking 6 minutes out of your time, right? So the promise is 2 hours. So this is what we want to achieve with you today. If you understand what I have done so far, type Y. If you enjoy the section, drop emojis. Let us see your response on the team. And if you have question, right, you can ask your question. But if you are in class and you've been listening, if you have question, you can definitely ask your questions. All right, let me know in the chat section. Unsplash can't work on Figma. It can definitely. Just like I said, as a designer, if you are learning in a school like our own, right, we don't assume that you know it. So what you are just asking now is plugins. Definitely there are plugins, and there is a class at Perxels that talks about plugins. Do you understand? But for this particular one that we are taking, because it's your first day, cannot expect we cannot expect us to be teaching you everything about Figma in 2 hours to make. You understand? So we just created this, right? We did it as if you don't know anything, right? Even with this now, some people, when network was teaching them that, they might have issue even learning it. So we are not teaching you like you're an expert or you're somebody that has spent 4 months at Perxels. Do you get that? Okay, so somebody said, awesome time with you. Thank you so much. Somebody say, please, I want to step out. Okay. Some of us are now rest down. The answer they are telling me. Anyway, guys, so thank you so much for joining us today. If you are interested in the Abuja training, we already have our people in Abuja. So one thing about Perxels, let me quickly tell you, we are quite different from the regular guys, right? So we already have our student, Abuja student, right, getting onboarded already. So what makes Perxels stand out is actually in our mission, right? I always tell people when I engage with them is that is what you see that you're gonna get. What does that mean? Everything on this website is the things that we wrote and we are committed to. Our own mission here is to help designers know how to solve problems. There is nobody that will come to Perxels Design School and say, I graduated from the school, but I did not even understand my purpose and how to use design skill. Nebo, because we are going to teach you in a way that you can practice, right? That's the vision of the organization. Our own vision is not to train people and then after 2 weeks, think you telling yourself that you're a designer. No, if you want to become a designer in the correct way, in a professional way, and you can earn whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria in dollars or naira, depending on your choice, you have to know it well. And for you to know it well, it's like an incubation, right? Where you are trained properly, you are placed on projects, right? It's tedious, do you get that? But if you get it well and you know it well, you definitely have a good experience moving forward. So at Perxels Design School for the Abuja training, we have physical class and then we have the virtual class. So let me go to Perxels. Let me go to one of my students' work. Mushakba has left Nigeria now, right? When he joined Perxels, he was an NYSC student, right? And now he's outside Nigeria working, right, as a UI UX designer. You can reach out to our students. That's why you can see their name there on our website. You can reach out to them to speak to them, right? So you can just overrun them. You see Oladayo where she's working. You people in InterSuite now. You can overrun them and look out for them on social media and ask them questions. Very, you're open to that. Now, this is Moshekwe's design. Now, I know that some of you might have even gone through some basic training before now, and you're always like, okay, why am I not getting opportunities? Or why are things, but they say that UI UX design is bringing money, or people are requesting for UI UX designers, but maybe you're not getting opportunities. Sometimes, depending on your situation, because I have to see what your situation is, but I'm using the case study of somebody that have not learned well or things that they've learned well. For example, now somebody will finish this training now and think they are now UI UX designer. You are not a UI UX designer yet. Do you understand? You have just started to learn design. It's beyond what we just did right now in class. Do you get that? So if you look at this guy's work, it is properly documented, it is tangible, is expressive. You can tell that, okay, this person has solved the problem for a human being, and the person has provided solution to that. Building what you are seeing right here did not come from the one, because this person learned from start to finish. He's a premium student, right? He learned everything from the beginning to the end at Perxels. Well, he does not know design at all when he joined Perxels, right? So, but at the end of 3 to 4 months, he's now able to create, and now he's outside the country working. He's able to achieve this because he now know it. If you don't know it, there will be issue in us even placing you on opportunity. And that's why we are coming to Abuja, right? Coming to Abuja, we want to help people of Abuja, which I'm very, very excited about. We have, and we also have communities that are responsive. Do you understand? So we have the people of Abuja. We are starting with them March 16, right? And the training is going to be a 3-month training, and it is a physical class. If you want to do online class, we have online class at Perxels. I'll show you very shortly. But the one that we are talking about right now is what the physical class in Abuja, and it is at Wuse 2, right? It is 2 times in a week. Physical training. You can pay 70% on admission, 30% after 1 month. So we are currently running discounts because we are just launching over there. So we have a discount that is running between now and March. Let me quickly go to the onboarding room. So let me quickly go to the onboarding room. Okay, so I want to quickly see. We have upon payment. This is what's the payment deadline? Oh, sorry, guys. 10th of March. So 10th of March, right? So that's when the discount will be over, right? And the training will start properly for from 16th of March. Now, after the training, we are going to place you on a 6 weeks internship. The reason we are placing our students on internship is not because people are doing it. It's because we know that recruiters want to see far beyond their portfolio. For example, now this Shokwe now, this is his own portfolio. Do you understand? Recruiters like this. This is correct and nice. It shows that you have dedicated yourself in working, right? But it's beyond this, in the sense that your recruiter wants to see that you have worked with developers. Your recruiter wants to see that you have worked with product managers. Your recruiter wants to see that you have worked with UX writers. Your recruiter wants to see that you have invested in learning and you have practically worked with people. You know that in tech, there is blood money in tech, in the sense that you don't have to spend 5 years before you are promoted. It's all about what you can know. So if you can dedicate yourself 3 months of training, 6 weeks of internship, and then maybe the other 1 month for you building and compiling all of your resume and everything together, you have that, chance of getting that opportunity that you want. But it requires that dedication of 3 to 4 months for you to be able to achieve that. So somebody said, where are we at Abuja? We are at Wuse 2. If you're interested in joining the training, you can pay in instrumental. The training fee as at now is 200,000 naira. As at now, what I mean is 2nd of March, because guys, the way things are scaling in price is different. So in case somebody's watching this another time, so this is March 2, 2024. As at now, the training fee is 200,000 naira, right? So if you are interested, all you just need to do is message Kachi. Kachi is like always the one sending messages, or go to the group. You see alumni. Sorry, I said alumni. Sorry, I just had an alumni retreat with my student. You see admin, right? You drop a message for the admin that you are interested. So if you know you are interested, you don't have to have like the money right now, but you just message him and say, okay, I am interested. So we'll add you to the onboarding room. On the onboarding room, you are going to pay your slot fee, because it's only 10 students we receive per cohort. And what do I mean by that? We cannot have a big space because every single person in the school, on our own school, must be taught, we must ensure that they get it. Do you get? So if you're having a situation where our student we're having 20, 100 people in the class, but it makes sense, you understand? So it's only 10 students per cohort that we usually accept. And the reason is because of effectiveness. We want to ensure that they can do the job. Do you get that? Because when we have students that can do the job, an organization reach out to us for job employment, we don't have find it difficult to recommend our students because we have trained them so well. Do you get that? So if you're interested, just reach out to Kachi. I am interested. I was talking about slot fee. Your slot fee is not an additional charge to your school fee. It's just for us to know that, okay, Ibrahim is really interested. So he paid 5,000 naira for slot fee. By March 10th, he would have paid at least 60% or 70% of his school fee. Do you understand that? So that is how it works, right? If you have any question, I don't know if I've missed anything, guys. If you have any question, I'm open to your questions now. Please ask your questions. If you have questions, please ask your questions. All right, Elizabeth, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you so much for this training. So I am currently doing my end.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I am currently still 7, and I would love to start the class after 7, which is I'll be completing my service here next month.
Okay.
Right. So I don't know the next month, like after the March slot, I don't know the next month for the training because that is when I'll be ready for the class in Abuja. So yeah, I just need to answer that for me.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. So are you currently serving in Abuja or in another state?
I'm serving in Abuja.
Okay, you're serving in Abuja. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
the reason I asked is because I have some couple of Abuja youth corpers, sorry, that are actually that want to take the training. So I wanted to know if maybe if the NYC is affecting you enrolling in the training. So coming to Perxels, right, in Lagos, we have the highest traffic in Lagos, guys. In Lagos like this right now, as I'm teaching you, I'm supposed to be teaching my students, right? But I'm here now teaching you. So there is class ongoing. So in Lagos is always back to back every month, right? There are so many opportunities in this field, and Perxels is like the best UI UX design school because that's the only one we train here at Perxels. That's the only thing, and our certificate is accredited. Do you understand? So we have a number of people always coming in the Lagos branch. However, because we are just launching in Abuja, right, the traffic we are yet to know. Do you get that? So it's traffic that determines how we actually, accept people into training, whether it's monthly or it's not monthly. So for example, in Ibadan right now, Ibadan traffic is not as much as Lagos one, right? So what we did was that if we enroll in January, the next enrollment is going to be in March. You understand? Like 2 month interval or 1 month interval. So if you're interested, we can just collect your number and then we can always give you updates on when the next enrollment will take place. I hope you understand that.
Yes, ma'am, I do. So how do I get the number? Who do I reach out to?
Are you on the WhatsApp group?
Yes, for the training. Yes, I am.
Abuja Masterclass group, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are there, you see our office number. So
Okay.
that guy that dropped number and messages all the time, that's our manager.
All right, ma'am. All right.
Always
Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm interested, and then the person will follow up on you. All right, Amaka. Amaka, let's talk. Hello, Amaka, can you hear me?
I wonder. Yeah, you can hear me.
Seems the network is bad. Yeah, I can hear you, Amaka. Can you hear me too?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you for the master class.
Yeah.
I was saying, what about, for example, I have, and I currently not afford a physical class.
Okay.
Is there an alternative for us?
Okay, so you know that we have other options at Perxels. We have the basic class, right? The basic class is 7 weeks training. For the basic class, right, what you'll be able to achieve in that 7 weeks is interface design. And interface design is not the entire UI UX design. UI UX design will involve, so for our premium students now, they will do field work. We'll place them on physical work. They'll go and do real research. We'll analyze data, real data, such that if this person enter into a company, the person will be able to work. But for UI and for our 7 weeks training, that is our basic student, that person cannot work as a full UI UX designer. That person can only create an interface, right? And what do I mean by that? If you come over to, let me show you what a basic student can do at Perxels. You can actually just go and study our page, guys, and reach out to our alumni. Our guys are doing very well, and we'll pay attention to our alumni, right? Even last month, we still did a program, right, for CV and all of those improvements, because it's very essential for our brand. The more we have students that get a job, the more our reputation increase in the market space. So for a basic student at Perxels, this is what you can achieve.